is that lifestyle actually the lifestyle they actually want to live? So the idea I want to see is like, let's dive in and see if that's actually what people want. It's like, are they happy? Is that somebody like I want to be?
That's super interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
You have a lot of young kids who obviously will look up and they don't think of everything that goes behind it. Because like
Yeah.
once you start traveling,
Yeah.
it becomes it's fun for like maybe 6 months, then it starts becoming such a chore.
Yeah, you need some sort of structure to like
Yeah.
the goals. And
To do a long term, that'd be very I don't know. I think everyone's built different though. Like
that's true. There's more people. Some people are more sedentary for sure. But I think of like when it comes to like traveling, if you're like working and you have work with your travel, or there's like some sort of purpose behind the travel, then it's different. But if you're kind of just like roaming and you don't really know, then eventually you're gonna kind of like miss community and stuff like that.
and I guess and also I would say it's like the season of your life, right? If you're a young single guy, it
Yeah.
could be a lot of fun. You're exploring the world.
Of course. And you do it whatever for however amount of time, and then when you're done, then you come back
Yeah.
to whatever you're coming back to.
Are you recording right now, by the way? Or
It is recording.
Oh, it is? Okay. I didn't even think we started.
It's not how I start.
Yeah.
I was going to start with who are you and what do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Just
So-
looking at you, or looking at the camera.
Yeah. So who are you? And
Yeah.
what do you do?
Hey, my name's Darion Ducharme.
Yeah.
I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba currently. I own a tech company called Teqare, and I'm going to every First Nation training the kids in the schools with cyber safety, AI changing, and very fulfilled with that. But I will be moving back to Vancouver in the next little bit
So-
as we kind of take this Canada-wide approach now because we're going to every province.
So are you moving to Vancouver to expand the business, or you just kind of want to go back to Vancouver at the same time?
Brother, winter's been very difficult
I can see
in my family. I was born and raised in Winnipeg, so
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. But
Yeah.
now my whole family is out in Vancouver. So my parents retired out there. My brother and his wife live in Olympic Village.
Yeah.
And it's just the lifestyle is something that I'm really like into. I love fitness. I love going out and
Yeah.
walking like 10,000 steps outside every day. That's something that like is really good for my mental health. And
Yeah, massive.
it's hard getting out. And
I lived in Vancouver for a winter. I was like 8-9 months, and like
Okay.
every day I'd wake up and I just go like I was about 10 minutes from the ocean, so I go walk along the ocean and
Oh.
sit. Maybe I pull out a book, read for a little bit, and then like that was like how like your day is just perfect when you like whatever goes on with your day after that. You're like, at least I got like some peace in the beginning of the day.
it's amazing, hey?
Yeah, and you get your steps in. It was like 20,000 steps a day out of nowhere. Here I do like 5,000.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, I get you. What area did you live in?
I was right in Yaletown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yaletown's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
so I know that seawall that's right there you would have walked. It's
So I was more like I was like a couple streets from Granville.
Okay.
So I'd actually walk towards Sunset Beach, and then I was just walk along there all the way to English Bay. And
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no sites like that where you in the wintertime, you can still go up and ski Whistler if you're into snow sports. You can
Sure.
still get the snow if you wanted.
Yeah.
And then you could also like go walking outside like at the beach. It's unbelievable.
there was one guy that I worked with who said that one day he like made it like his mission. He snowboarded in the same day that he surfed.
Oh,
So he went and
Crazy.
like snowboarded. I don't remember what the mountain is right there that you can snowboard.
Maybe Cyprus.
Yeah,
Just right
Cyprus.
there.
And then he went to whatever, took a ferry, went to straight to Tofino, and then surfed in the same day.
and Tofi. That is so cool.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you can do that anywhere in the world.
Probably borderline nowhere.
And that's what I love about BC because I grew up
Maybe-
doing
maybe
snow
Japan.
sports.
I don't know. Something like
Oh,
that.
maybe, yeah, maybe Japan.
One of those that have like a similar, something like that. But yeah,
There are places for sure. But that's what I like about BC. It's the outdoors. Obviously, we know BC stands for bring cash. So
Yeah.
you got to find a way to pay for your housing and be okay to maybe downsize from what you've maybe had in Manitoba.
Yeah.
But other than that, you could do it.
yeah, that's an interesting conversation actually. And this whole like picking the environment that you live in. Like how important is that to you? Like lifestyle, well-being in Vancouver versus in Winnipeg. I'm not saying that you might have it bad in Winnipeg, but obviously there's a different lifestyle there.
It's super interesting. I've recognized this when I was very young. And if you're dealing, I believe, with mental health issues and you move to a new location, you might feel okay for a little bit, but maybe some of those loneliness or mental health issues might catch up to you.
Yeah.
Even in any location in the world, once the excitement kind of goes down. But I think it's if you take action in certain daily things and actually change your lifestyle, then you're going to have the positive impact, I feel.
Yeah.
So it's like getting outside, being more active.
Do you think it's more likely that you can change that once you switch locations?
Oh, it's really funny. There's definitely the ease.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. My parents I grew up there very athletic. Like by the age of, I think it was 16, we ran 2 half marathons as a family together, like
crazy.
for fun.
Yeah.
Every vacation my family would do would be like a health and wellness, fitness thing where I'm like, I just want to go sit on the beach. They're like, no, we're going to go mountain bike Moab, Utah. We're going to go do this.
Yeah.
Like, just crazy. So my parents would cross country ski in like -30. So they told me as a kid, they're like, it's all a choice. You get outside and do it. You just got to bundle up. It's, it's not about the cold, it's about how you dress. And then I get that to an extent. Yeah. Like I'm not like that crazy, but they're amazing, by the way. But it's like, I'm not getting up in -30. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's not way less motivation.
Yeah.
Because even right now, I text friends, they're like, I don't want to go anywhere right now. It's -30. It's like, I don't want to do anything.
I get it.
Then you stay home, and then maybe you're not socializing as much. Maybe you're not getting as much work done. Maybe you're not going to the gym.
Yeah.
Maybe you're caving and ordering skip the dishes instead of eating something healthy. Like, it just goes across the board.
I get it. Well, last week, so right now in Winnipeg, what would you say? It's like -30 or minus?
It's -30, but with the wind, it's colder.
Insane.
So I was in Trinidad last week.
Okay.
+35 when I took off. With the wind, -47 when I landed. So 80-degree difference.
Well, what was that like? I bet you when you walked off the plane into that little area, you could feel the wind come through, right?
The terminal, like right when it, like, I remember sitting there, I was like, I looked at my nephew was with me, and I was like, why did we come back? I was like, we could have extended my week too.
You should have maybe extended, or did you have
my
things
girlfriend probably would have been pissed.
That makes sense.
I had things to do too, but like, debatably could have pushed a lot of it back, But
I feel it. Like I said, I was in Vancouver, and it was +11 one day, sunny. Went outside, I was just wearing my suit, and I was just like in the sun. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just so incredible. Just did a walk, and
isn't that like some sort of like misconception? Like when I realized when I lived there for the winter, people are like, oh, it's like you think it's better in the winter, but it's raining the whole time, and it gets depressing when it's raining. And I was like, yeah, it was raining more, but the rain isn't as depressing as the cold, for one, for me. But the other thing is that you randomly get like a sunny and 5 or 10 degree day where it's like you walk outside and it's like, oh, it's like the complete, like,
it happens.
Yeah, it rejuvenates
Yeah.
the soul.
You hear the thing, and a lot of Winnipeg people say, oh, it's Vancouver. I get it. Like, there is rainy seasons,
100%.
like, but you just get a nice Gore-Tex jacket and a sweater underneath. Like,
Yeah.
you just rock it. Unless you actually need the sun for mental health to get it.
Yeah, but you still get a bit of sun like once a week, I'd say, maybe. Or like there's randomly days will be raining, then it's sun, and then it's raining again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm okay with that. It's just bipolar a little bit.
I prefer that than -30.
Oh my god.
I would take that
any day.
especially for driving.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's crazy? So we have a garage, but only enough space for like one car right here in Winnipeg.
Okay.
So I was plugging in my other car because you have to plug it in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And literally, like, there was snow in the little the extension cable.
frozen.
So then I hit it on the ground, and it just shattered.
That is insane.
This was like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, this is insane.
The memes are real.
They actually are. Yeah.
So that actually makes me think of something. Vancouver, you could have a better car, different car.
The car world is completely
Yeah.
different in Vancouver.
Which I know you're into.
Yeah. Hey.
I think you have a similar weakness that I do when it comes to Porsche.
Oh my God. I daily drove an air-cooled 911
Yeah.
all year for about 1.5 years in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Through the winter and through the summer.
Yeah.
There was one day it was snowing, and I had like the Pilot Sport tires on it, which
Yeah.
are not winter tires.
Yeah.
And it started snowing. I was on West Broadway. I'm like, I need to leave to get home now. I was living in South Van.
Yeah.
And I went down that hill, and I just started sliding. I was like, okay. So I pulled over the car and just parked it, and
Yeah, you leave it for a couple of days.
left it for a couple of days. The snow melted. It was fine.
I remember when I was living downtown, like the one snowfall, I got back from Winnipeg after Christmas, and there was snow on the ground. And people are like, it's been on the ground for like 4 days. Usually it's gone after 2. I was sitting there. There's like a couple of people, like a guy in like his Aston Martin, looks like slowly trying to go up the hill, but he can't.
Oh my gosh.
I'll like just park the car. It'll to drive.
It's a supercar capital.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll see, I know it's a real thing. Like when I was there back in 2016,
Yeah.
you go to UBC, you see 17-year-old kids in McLarens with an L on the back, which means learner license permit.
Yeah, that everywhere.
Ripping this over 600 horsepower vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I remember that's actually a funny one. Is the learners? How many different cars are always walking around downtown? I always see like a parked car, but like, really, that one too? Like, that's what you decided to learn in?
Oh my gosh. It's, you know what, I was in this world with friends who were like in the car dealership world, and they told me there was like a regular thing with a lot of international students, I guess maybe from more of the mainland,
Yeah.
and they would get their fresh 100 when they landed. So with their fresh 100K, They like their bank would get that. They would go try to find rent, and then they go buy a nice car. And you know, certainly there's ones who got better cars, but it would be like a Mercedes. It's like the standard normal traffic is a G wagon in BC. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say so many G wagons with the lantern thing in the back.
Yeah, it's a good car though. I love it.
What's the favorite car you've had?
Oh my god. I'll answer, then I want you to answer.
Okay.
They're all for different things and seasons in my life. Like I really loved. We had my favorite lineup was an air cooled 911.
Okay.
No AC, very like visceral driving, and then we had a G wagon as well at the same time.
Okay, so a good combination.
It was a good a dream combo.
Yeah.
But obviously they had issues. You know, the G wagons had a warranty. Gas tank, pump in the gas tank went. Mercedes quoted me 12 grand. So you got to pay to play. Like it's not cheap. But it was dream. What about you?
So overall, my favorite car was my 718 GTS. It was like the Miami blue. It was like one that I had customized from scratch. It was like the Miami blue seatbelts, and everything was like matching perfectly. I actually had went to the dealership, and I wanted to get the Miami blue, but there's like a 6-month order time, and I like had customized my dream one, and then I decided to just cave, and I bought a gray one.
Okay, so
but then my friends are at the dealership. Like, my friend was the GM, my other friend's a sales guy.
Yeah.
And they called me like 9 months later. They're like, you remember that one you customized? They're like that. I was like, yeah, like it's on the way right now. Do you want it? I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, I just got into this one. I was like, I don't know if I want it yet. They're like, okay, well, you have like a week to let us know, because if not, somebody else could be driving the car you customized.
So what'd you do?
Well, so I was like, can I like wait to see it in person? I was like, I don't want like whatever to be penalized for leaving my leaves early and all this stuff. So it ended up coming, and I looked at it, and it was like debating it, and then they had another guy looking at it at the same time.
Oh, do you think they set it up that way?
No, the guy was signing the papers.
And was this in Winnipeg?
Yeah,
that's even more rare. Like a nice car like that. That's crazy.
So the guy was signing the papers, the other guy. Then I'm standing there, and I was like, oh, I can't. I was like, this is literally the one I customized. So and my friend looks at me, the sales guy, and he's like, if you give me $1,000 deposit right now, you can buy yourself a week.
Because if you get the deposit in before the other guy,
even though he's signing the paper. So
funny.
I'm literally standing next to the guy, and I put the deposit on the car, and then like the guy turns around and like lets the guy know, and he's like so pissed. He like walks outside, he like kicks the garbage can over, and he's walking over. Apparently the guy's been like waiting like 25 years to buy a Porsche or something, and this was like the one that he finally decided to buy. And my friends are waiting at the truck outside. They come in, they're like, what's wrong with that guy? What's going on? And he's like, and then I was like, oh, I just put the deposit while I was about to buy the car. They're like, oh, so you got the car? I'm like, I guess.
My God, you must have had a friend or like someone at the dealership.
Yeah. My friend was the GM, and my other friend was the sales guy. But like, so like he just told me like, if you want it, like now's your time.
Well, technically, the way that I would justify it is you custom built the car.
Yeah, I was like, so, but like they knew other people would want it, because it was like the Miami blue is like whatever color that everybody wanted, and it takes 6 months to order it in.
That's so
they don't
funny.
ever keep it on the lot because it's like a niche color or whatever. But I was gonna say that, but then overall, I had the most fun driving a 95 Subaru STI.
Oh my God! Imported from Japan?
Yeah, I used to import them, and then I that one I had bought it for like $6,000 after everything, and it had like 50,000 kilometers. It was like
Was it the bug eye in the front?
No, it was the older one, 95.
Oh my gosh!
So and it was like, so it weighed like 2,400 pounds after I gutted it.
Yeah.
And then it was like 300 horsepower or whatever. So it just like ripped. It was,
just all-wheel drive.
Yeah, and it was only $6,000. So like whatever, I'll just rip it around.
Those aren't $6,000 anymore.
No,
They imported from Japan.
So I thought I got a good sale because I sold it for $9,500 with a blown transmission
In Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like a year later, I sold it.
Yeah.
The transmission blew. I was like, I don't want to do the repair, and I sold it for like $9,500.
And you thought you were doing well.
I was like, this is awesome. And then later, now they're selling for whatever price. I was like, oh, I could have just continued to bring them in, but I brought out a couple after that and sold them as well for a profit.
Yeah.
But it was, it was.
Isn't that funny that the most fun car that you had wasn't the most expensive car? No. And that's what I think that I love about real car enthusiasts.
Yeah.
It's not about the money, but it's about the driving experience and just like the vehicle.
Before that, I used to say that my favorite car was my first car ever was a 1990 Honda Accord.
Oh, cool! Was it a coupe or
it was like a 4-door, and it had like whatever sunroof with like a nice like rack on top and stuff. It was just like a clean car. It's like $2,000. It was a standard too. It's like one of those cars where you just feel everything.
Yeah.
So there's just so much control, no matter how fast you're going. Like I could just feel the road entirely. The vision in it, like the windows are like Like you could see no blind spots at all. Like this was such a good car to drive. I was like, 1990. I was like, one day I was like, if I have like a warehouse of cars, I was like, I'll have like a
Get this
special.
same car
Yeah,
and you get it restored.
There'll be a couple of the ones that I used to have that I'm like,
Oh, that's too bad. My first car was a Pontiac Sunfire.
Yeah.
I call it a Sunflower at the time. I loved it. I kept it so clean. You know, like when you're in high school, it's like you vacuum the inside. I had the black ice hanging in there when you go pick up the shorties on dates.
Yeah.
And just like you're like top shit. Cars were $2,400.
Yeah.
Engine blew. And then, you know, the sad story was like, son, it's too much to repair than the car's worth. And so I was busting for a few weeks after that.
So this is interesting. Is that we both like our first cars or whatever around $2,000, and then we both kind of went up to Porsches or whatever.
Yeah.
And yet we seem to be reminiscing more about the earlier car.
Yeah.
It's as if the earlier car made you happier.
See, that's actually what's really interesting is I understand when you have an experience like maybe a dream car that you really want. You think like, oh, that's going to be my ticket to happiness. I'm going to never be depressed again. I'm going to have my best life.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when you get it and the first time you drive it, it feels amazing.
It's amazing.
The best feeling in the world is sign the papers, getting the keys, they put the plates on that car and you rip it off the Porsche parking lot. Like that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But then you get your first car ding, you get your dent in the car.
So depressing.
It's depressing. But after like the fifth one, and then you realize it's just a piece of metal and still love it, it's great, but then the same problems you have in life, it doesn't solve those same emotional issues you might be dealing with.
It does feel better to cry while you're driving a Porsche.
No, what did they say? What did that Gary V guy say? I'd rather cry in my Toyota, or no, smile in my Toyota than cry in my Lambo.
Yeah.
I would honestly say I'd rather cry in a Lambo and smile in the Lambo too.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to be crying in the Lambo, you're probably also crying in the Corolla.
True.
So I'd rather cry in the Lambo than cry in the Corolla. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But you know what? I'm not even a Lambo guy.
Yeah.
Even if I had the money, it's one of those like young 20s, I've made it cars that you buy in Miami.
Yeah.
I have traditional tattoos. I'm more of like just a different kind of person.
Yeah.
I have no problem spending that kind of money on a car, but I just don't want the image of a Lambo. It maybe in the future be a vintage Ferrari or something like that.
Vintage Ferrari.
Really cool.
I like vintage Aston Martins too.
Oh, they are so freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I have this vision. I was in Vancouver in must have been 2016. I saw this like really well-dressed guy in a vintage Aston Martin. It was like the bullet silver.
Yeah.
Driving like down Granville in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And it just stuck in my mind. And that was in the winter time too. And that was like before I had like money to get my own like vintage car. I was like, that is the fucking look right there. I love that look.
It's so beautiful. I have like a little bit of like a James Bond fetish, so it's like for me, it's like I want to just like one day just like have like the classic thing, have like a nice suit on, and just kind of like drive down like a windy road in the
Oh my
in
God.
the valley or something. That's like kind of like this like
I think we're at that age group bracket that it's like I grew up playing the N64 James Bond game with the friends, you know?
Yeah.
Like I get that.
Yeah.
I like that look too.
yeah with the classic music playing and everything.
Oh yeah, and you're just on like a mission or something.
Yeah. I'll figure out what the mission is after.
Yeah. Oh man, that's cool.
I feel like we're talking about here, but there's obviously a beginning to this. Mm-hmm. So before you could get there, you had a Porsche that you at the same time. A lot of people can't have that. How did you get to that point?
Oh man, that's a good question. First of all, I say this to young guys all the time. I'm 33 now.
Yeah.
I'm old. Like I had no money until I was like 25.
Yeah.
And then it's just when you grow your skills to a certain place where at a certain age you just start making more money easier. I don't know if it probably happened to you.
Yeah, I think it was a similar thing, like skills, and then people start to know you for those skills, and then they start willing to pay
you
you
just
more for those
monetize.
skills, and
For me, I had over 10 years of experience in the wireless world. I was working for Bell, Rogers, Telus, and selling cell phones.
so sales experience.
Sales. Sales is everything. I say that to everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's happening in the world. If the world ends, or maybe if it ends, you're done, like, because everyone's done. But essentially, if you have sales skills, you could sell anything.
Yeah.
You can go make $1 million a year selling software sales.
Yeah,
Like
that's a big one right now.
you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, it was sales, and then I had Airbnb, bought a house in Winnipeg in 2016. I paid $230 $37,000 for it.
Your Airbnb in 2016?
Yeah,
You're headed
right when Airbnb was hot.
Yeah,
People were like, "Fuck hotels, let's stay in Airbnbs." Now it's switched. Everyone's fucking
The fees
Airbnbs.
are added up too much.
Yeah, because why am I going to pay to do chores and put the laundry in the basket?
Check-in and all this stuff, and then
It was doing well. I duplexed it. Was making like $4,000 a month on Airbnb, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Off of my mortgage payment was $1,100 a month, which was great. And then I didn't buy more and scale it up. I have friends who did that.
Yeah.
But for me, I was living quite comfortably. I was investing in Tesla before the first split, and then Bitcoin back when it was like dirt cheap. Sold it all, by the way. Which fear of missing out. It is what it is. I remember when it was $12,000. The guy on the street had a sign.
Oh yeah.
He's buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But long story short, sold all that. My first wife passed away from cancer in 2019.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
And cancer care for 6 months, passed away. Then I was like done. I remember I had a Harley Davidson motorcycle at the same time, ripping that thing down the streets, wishing I got hit by a car, crying.
Yeah.
My parents lived in River Heights at the time. I'd go drive to their house in the middle of the night drunk, lay on their front lawn, and pass out and like cry. Because I was in the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
And then I started, after a while, I started going through therapy. It was very difficult. So if people met me at the bar or the club during that time, like, don't judge me on who I am today, because people go through shit.
Everybody it is. But
so it is.
Everybody does, but that's something that's a lot lower than a lot of people don't ever have to go through.
Yeah. But eventually, everyone has to go through loss.
Yeah.
And that's what I say all the time. You're going to have to face it. All your loved ones, unless you die first.
Yeah.
Like your parents, maybe your aunties and uncles, friends, like people might die before you. And that's an unfortunate truth about reality. Yeah. We try to chase pleasure and away from reality sometimes, but I think there's a healthy, I don't want to be living like, oh, my dad's going to die, but it's like, hey, what really matters? I want to spend more time with my family.
Was there like a turning point as to like that helped you kind of move on from that?
That's a good question. I think it was a little bit of time, a little bit of finding purpose again, and therapy, which is really good as a man. You got to be very fucking honest and vulnerable about the pain you're going through and talk to someone. I know a lot of friends that I might have who are male like have difficulty with that.
Yeah.
But it was purpose-driven life. I started a business because I'm like, I have nothing else to fail.
Yeah.
Like if I fail in a business,
almost being brought to that low was like, okay, now I have nothing left to lose. I could take that kind of risk.
Yeah, but the risk that I took wasn't necessarily just a big money maker, but it was a social enterprise risk that I'm like, I just want to help people.
Okay.
So I started helping people one-on-one with cell phones and technology, helping elders, senior citizens. And it was just like, I don't care about the money. I had a little bit of money because I was cashing stuff out at the time. Yeah. And I realized you could spend more money than you make. I made the hard decision. I was in probably $60K of corporate debt at some point.
Yeah.
And then not giving up the dream, and eventually you can make it back in like a month. And eventually what I was doing got to the right people. Then I got a major contract that just kind of got rid of the debt in like 1 month, and then started building from there. And basically like a non-profit social enterprise world that traditionally don't go in to make money. I didn't go in to make money. Now I'm making pretty good money. So it's how it is.
So you went in with the mentality of helping people, and then the money came after.
And that's what it was. But I want to say that's not like a strategy that would work for every single person.
For sure.
Because there are some places that you just don't make any money.
Yeah.
So I think it's like being wise with it. And if you realize that what you really want to do for fun actually isn't a money maker, find an avenue to make money and go do it as a volunteer work or as a hobby.
Yeah, fair.
That's how I would say it.
We'll pause there for a second. Yeah.
What about you? How did you get to the place of, because you know what, what's really cool is, I would say this, you're pretty Winnipeg famous in the world of like, let's say nightlife.
Yeah, nightlife.
Entrepreneur, businessman. Yeah. But also something that's really unique about you that I absolutely love when I follow your stories is you read a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot of these
That's a recent thing, though. That's not something that's... it was during COVID that I started reading.
Okay. And how'd you get into that? How did that...
I started to feel stupid.
Okay.
So what happened was COVID was like an identity shock to me. I didn't really realize that at the time, but my whole identity was essentially attached to like my nightclub 441.
Okay.
So and I felt like things were going well. Like I had my Porsche, I had my nightclub, I had a restaurant, I had a promotion business, I had a couple houses or whatever.
Amazing.
Things are going good. I'm like 20, whatever at the time, 27, 28. the club shuts down, and everything locks down or whatever. I force to sell the restaurant, and like I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, maybe things will reopen, and then I can just go back, and then eventually I was like, okay, things are not going to reopen. I'm like, and then I started to like just kind of lose myself.
That's so difficult.
Yeah. So I was doing a bunch of random other stuff to try to like, I was like different sales draw, whatever online that I could do. And then I was talking to people about whatever issues that are going on in the world. And I started to feel like, I was like, okay, and maybe I kind of ignored part of me. Like I need to learn more. I'm not keeping up on a lot of conversations. Especially like my younger brother, he had started reading, and there's a lot of stuff that he was talking about. And I was like, okay, my younger brother knows more than me on some topics. So I started starting to read, and it was really tough when I started reading. Like it would be like maybe 5 pages, or like I try to get through like an idea and then go to the next, and then like next day. So it's like first 5 pages, then 10 pages. And eventually like 2-3 years later, I was reading like whatever, 50 pages a day. Now I read sometimes like 150 pages a day. It depends on the day. Obviously I can't do that every day. But so the reading habit was like a big buildup of just like literally losing my identity, realizing I have to like continuously educate myself, because I was not a student anymore at that point. I'd say it's like I was stopped being a student of life. I was pretty much just drowned in alcohol at that point.
Yeah.
And things are going so well that I like just didn't really have like, my work was partying, so there's no need to get better at much other stuff. So I had to get better at other stuff, and it's like that's when I started reading. I started taking like random courses, whatever. Started diving into different subjects. And
Your story's amazing because you've experienced kind of the top of the world, what I think most youth aspire to be is, and that's like business owner, entrepreneur in the spotlight. People know you. You're in the nightlife.
Yeah.
Right? That's like a huge thing. And to lose it overnight from, an external circumstance that you can't control, government stuff.
Yeah.
That could be very heartbreaking. And now you're dealing with identity stuff. That's
another thing
you've
that came out of
overcome
it
a lot.
was realizing that you can't always control the outcome. So I had an identity crisis while realizing that I don't actually have control over everything at the same time.
And you actually didn't during COVID. You can't just run it under the table.
Yeah. So
And
that's what happens. And that's what it's funny, because a lot of people people think I'm a lot richer than I am, for one thing. So there's people that thought,
it's always the
like,
perception.
Yeah, well, especially back in the club, they were like, people message me asking for like $100,000 just to like give them. I had somebody be like, "Can you just do this? I need to do whatever. I want to start my business." I was like, "You have it." I'm like, well, first of all, I was like, "You didn't give me a business pitch." Second of all, I don't really know you. And third of all, I just don't like have $100,000 just to give random people. Like I'm not like a venture capitalist firm.
That's Winnipeg, and I'm not trying to be rude with that. It's just the perception's a lot different because there's not a
And then the perception is like you see that and you think that's like the perfect life you want to live. But when I look back at that life, it's like if I had to live that life again, that'd be like a horror show for me.
So what would you say to young people listening to this? Like, what was it really like deep down?
For like what was it deep down, like losing it, or what was the problem?
Like living it. Like maybe at the beginning it was a lot of fun because you accomplished some incredible things, but like was there any like gaps in your emotion or how you were feeling or fulfillment?
I think most of it was due to alcohol. Like I was kind of because I owned the club, so if somebody buys me a shot, I make like $1 each shot I take. So I'm like, why would I turn down a shot? And that became the mentality. But then I had so many different things going on that it was like 6 times a week I was out, and now out of nowhere I'm drunk like more than I'm sober.
You're not maybe even meaning to. You might just go, hey, I'm just going to go for 10 minutes, and you see homies, and you're just because it's always one drink, and then you're gonna have more.
It's never just one drink.
I know.
Especially if it's like your event and stuff, because I have my promotions company too. So I have my event at 4 for a while I'm doing an event somewhere else. So it was like it's easy to get lost. So people think it's like a good life. So when I look back at that lifestyle, I'm like, I would never want to do that. I barely drink now, like ever. So I went.
I know you did sober patches.
I did sober for 14 months.
It's incredible.
And then I did a few months again after that. And the year after I was sober, I was only drunk for like once during that next year. So, and even now I barely drink at this point.
Do you feel like, okay, so alcohol, that's a cool topic we're bringing up here.
Yeah.
Do you think if you were to do it again, like run all those companies, have the nightlife, and you were to do it sober, do you think you'd be a lot more happy, or do you think you could do it properly?
I don't think I'd even be able to do it if I was sober.
Oh, really? Because you wouldn't be there.
There's 2 reasons. One, people come out because I want to party, and like you invite them out, you buy them drinks and stuff. I don't know if I would have been as successful if I was sober. Second, I don't think I would have enjoyed the environment if I was sober. I'm actually super introverted. I get like overstimulated in nightclubs if I'm sober. Like if I go out past like 11 o'clock now, I'm like I don't want it, but I was able to because I was drunk.
Yeah.
So I think if I was sober, not only would have not enjoyed it, I probably would not have connected with people in the same way. I wouldn't have had like that, whatever, that mutual connection that you get when you get drunk with people, which
Totally
and
fair.
I'm just constantly getting drunk with people. So like, okay, let's go to Nick. We know Nick at 441. Let's go see him. He'll let us in or whatever. And then you kind of have that relationship. I don't think I would have had the same thing if I was sober,
Fair.
but so I would have done something probably completely different.
So, question: you have access to unlimited funds in your account day one.
Yeah.
Jeannie gives it to you.
Yeah.
What's the business you're building today?
Probably this podcast.
A podcast business. Incredible.
But I think that, so I think it comes back to like the purpose that you're talking about now too. So
Yeah.
Purpose and like what makes you feel fulfilled. For me, I like talking about things like happiness. I like talking with people that I enjoy. I like writing about it. I like thinking deeply about it. So like, that's why I like that's another thing that when I was drinking a lot, I just didn't really like think deeply. And when I lost my identity and everything, I started meditating, doing all stuff and diving deeper, and I started journaling or whatever. Went to therapy and everything. So, and I realized I like just like sitting there thinking, and then I write like that's why I had my blog. I have my blog for 2 or 3 years now. So I just like write down whatever I think, and maybe somebody will find this useful, but most of the time it's actually more for myself because I can go back. So for me, the podcast is that, but in a dialogue form with somebody else, and also video form. And most people don't read it anymore; they just want to see it in videos anyway. And video is like the language of the internet. So I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I
get
that out there.
You know, I've read some of your blog posts.
Yeah.
It's really good wisdom. And you know, I've personally benefited from it because I feel like a lot of us are in the same place.
Yeah.
Like emotionally trying to just live our best life, dealing with life.
Yeah.
Life isn't easy. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
But I think there's tools in some of your blog stuff. And what I'm really holding close to right now is the alcohol-free lifestyle. I think culture is changing a little bit when it comes to alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw how much the liquor sales have dropped for a lot of these alcohol companies, like 830 billion or something out of the liquor market. So
It's great. Apparently, Gen Z is not drinking as much. They say.
good though. That's a good.
I think it is good.
Yeah.
Well, I see videos of the lifestyle in Australia.
Yeah.
People get the run clubs. People getting up like 6 a.m.
It's like Vancouver.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I love about Vancouver.
Yeah, that's what I think. I remember like everybody, people just looked healthier for one. But you see people running, and there's like by the beach, just people doing yoga and whatever. It's a completely different life, and I think it's funny because people are like, "What are you doing when or you drink?" There's nothing else to do.
I get it. What do they? The old saying they see on like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Like, what are you doing during the winter time? Stuck
Yeah.
inside. It's just.
Well, it's, I think it was Charlie Munger. They asked him what are the ways that most men like lose their money, and it was leverage, women, and alcohol. I think it was, or gambling, alcohol. Yeah,
Alcohol. I'll tell you this about alcohol. I did a year sober as well,
yeah.
and the happiest year of my life. Like
Why did you decide to go sober?
You know, it's a really good question. I started drinking. I was drinking before my wife died.
Yeah.
And I actually had zero problem with alcohol. I had zero trauma in my life. I grew up very privileged.
Yeah.
And I can manage it very well. I could have like a night out once a month and just feel a little hungover the next day. It's great. There was no trauma associated with that. After my wife died, I started drinking a lot more. And then just like started staying out like way too late and started affecting my mental health and my life. And I noticed that. So eventually I was like, fuck it, let's cut it completely.
Yeah.
And I cut it for a whole year. And that year was incredible. I made so much money. I was so clear. I was actually happy. And sorry, it's not about the money, but I'm saying the money was a byproduct of, I think,
Well, when you're
the
happy, you're
happiness.
in a better place, you're making better decisions. And
Exactly.
then the money comes with
You're not
it.
wasting your
Yeah.
time. You're waking up and exercising. I was the thinnest, most fit person that year. And then I thought I could bring it back. And I was like, hey, just one drink once in a while. So then I made like a pact to myself. But
Yeah.
again, it's not always one drink. And I know my weaknesses. It's just I can't have just one drink. And now I'm in this world where I'm going out with like really rich people or people that want to schmooze you and buy nice bottles of wine. For
Yeah.
example, I went out just to the Fort Garry probably like a month ago or less than a month ago. And it was like, hey, let's just have one drink. Okay, I'm having one drink and driving home. Right. And then people are buying these $300 bottles of wine. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll just have a glass. And you're there for like 10 hours and you're not,
Yeah, it's
you're not
not
driving
that
home.
bad.
Next
Yeah.
day is ass. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it's like that temptation is there, but I'm needing to get back to that sober life or be very strict with myself. And I think one thing I was thinking about is you made a rule for yourself where you had like 1 or 2 drinks, and if you went over that, then you had to go sober for X amount of time.
Yeah.
I think that's very smart. That would work
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I put those rules in place, and I actually ended up breaking the rules, and then I had to
Yeah.
punish myself again by going sober for more months because it became. What happened was when we launched the nightlife in my restaurant, I started drinking more, and then I became single, and I was like, okay, I don't have anything to do, and then sure enough, I was like, okay. But the difference was because I went sober for 14 months, I now was able to catch myself so much quicker, and then I could like go put new rules in place, and then like whatever, fix myself again.
Are you the kind of person you do really well? I think you do well with guardrails and routine, but also like, what's the word? Like, I do very well on an app when it says I have like 50 days sober. If it
Okay.
says 2 days sober, I'm willing to break the 2 days, but like it's a streak lifestyle. Do you do well with that?
It helps, but I think the key for me is always like identity switch. So like the moment I start telling people like, oh no, I'm sober or I don't drink, then I actually don't drink. But when I go in like, oh, I'm just gonna have one drink, then that's when I like start caving, and it just ends up being more. So like for me, I actually have to like fully dive in and like switch my identity to somebody who does not drink, and then I can stick with that until like, and my friends are always like, oh, you're not drinking again. I'm like, nope, I don't drink. And then I think they have come to the point where they know that like that just means I'm going to be sober for a while. Maybe it means I'm sober for a month. Maybe it means I'm sober for 4 months.
That's
But,
cool.
yeah.
You probably have a lot of friends, and you probably, I would say maybe in your past world, you might have some friends who might respect it, some friends that might want to not hang out with you as much, and then probably some friends that really respect it and enjoy it, and maybe might see a better version of you in the sober
It's funny you
life.
bring that up because so when during COVID, when my club shut down,
Yeah.
within 1 month, I lost 1,700 followers on my Instagram. All people who used to come to the club. And after that, there's people that try to hang out that I thought were friends, and they just weren't interested in hanging out unless it was because I thought they want to hang out with me, but actually just wanted to hang out with me at the club, so they weren't real friends.
And maybe they're assuming you're buying drinks, and yeah.
So the same thing happened when I stopped drinking. I was like, oh, they don't really want to do anything aside from drink.
It's
And it's like
interesting.
they want drinking buddies to justify their bad behavior, perhaps. Maybe they just don't want to be drinking by themselves and whatever it is. So like, but if you can't hang out with somebody sober, they're probably not. You're actually your friend.
Hey, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But what's so funny is like when you think of the most unhealed version of yourself,
Yeah.
you probably have those friends that are just like a good time, down for a drink anytime.
Yeah.
But their life is pretty much, and I have those friends that their life isn't really going anywhere from high school, but they're always a good time.
Yeah,
But that's kind of,
and if you want to drink, maybe you can go call them up.
yeah, they're always down.
But then you like them the rest of the time.
Yeah. I like the most the happiest people that I know, like it's money. They might have a lifestyle that they want to live, like they might have money, but they're living with more purpose and doing things that they really love to do.
That's something you mentioned a few times is purpose.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask you, in your mind, what is the definition of happiness, or how do you define happiness, or how do you measure
For
it?
me, it's different, and I'll say like what I tell the kids, because I'm flying to Shamattawa tomorrow
Okay.
to teach these kids of like the work that I do essentially.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too spiritual with it, but I believe that all of humanity is created for a plan and purpose in their life. I believe there's no mistakes in life. I believe Creator gives us passions in our heart, and we have the ability to follow that. So for me, it's like really figuring out who I am as a person. What do I really love to do? And I believe if everyone was walking in their purpose, the world would be a better place. Because I feel like I'm called to educate kids. Eventually, with more money that I have, I want to feed kids. But you might be called to something different to help people in a certain way. But I
Yeah.
think if like we're all living that purpose, it's going to be like a well-oiled cog machine where the world's just in a much, much better place.
So
Does
how
that
do you
make
find
sense?
your purpose? That's the tough part, because a lot of people are like, I would love to, like, if my purpose was obvious, I would love to go just dive into my purpose and do work that fulfills that purpose. It's like,
I
so
think it's
how
different
do
for
you find it?
everyone. I think it's like, what do you love to do? But also you might have to do a little bit of self-exploration. Like for me, I didn't go right to university after high school. I went and did an overseas visa, working at a hostel in Amsterdam, traveled into the Philippines, just traveled the world.
So you tested the waters
Yeah.
in many different ways before you were able to actually find what made you feel like fulfilled. Or
Exactly, because I know a lot of friends, and maybe you know them too. It's like right after high school, they're like, "Hey, I have to go to university. I have to do this," and it's like they're not very happy doing it. I get it. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because maybe you can get a really good job that's bringing in good money, so then you can have all your little hobbies and fun things that give you purpose on the side,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah,
But for me, I'm a big risk taker. Like I'm just like I get one fucking life.
entrepreneur by nature.
I'm either gonna be rich or live under a bridge, be
Yeah.
broke for a time being. Like that's literally nowhere in the middle for me, if that makes sense.
No, that's fair. I was actually one of those people that went to university for right after school, and I knew what I wanted to do, so I was going to do astrophysics.
Amazing.
But the actual job I wanted, which was like working at an observatory, there's only 3 people per year in Canada who got hired, and they all went to a university that I couldn't get into. So I had
Very
switched it.
competitive,
Yeah,
yeah.
I switched a couple things. Then eventually I dropped out, and I just like started exploring. I started trying as many different things. I was like, what do I like? I've liked cars, but I didn't really want to be a mechanic, and I didn't. It was too expensive to be a race car driver.
Yeah.
So I was like,
You gotta
oh,
drive go-karts from 12 years old and stuff.
yeah, exactly. I can't afford those many sets of tires. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, and then music was the other thing. So I had started making music, and I started DJing, and then eventually that turned into me DJing at the club, and then I was like, realized it's like a whole operational side that I liked, and then it just turned into like, I just like operating businesses and stuff.
Oh,
I
amazing.
actually like starting businesses more than like operating them. I like the 0 to 1 phase.
Same
Yeah.
with me. I'm more of like that visionary. Let's just
Yeah.
fucking like do a
Find the
sprint,
idea.
start it. Like
Yeah.
let's just go.
Find the idea, do the branding, figure it out, and then at that point I get kind of bored.
Yeah, I get it. But I don't want to like discourage young people if they're listening to like if you're in university, don't just go and quit. You know, I'm like
Yeah.
a lot of people like we need the doctors, we need the lawyers, we need the
Yeah.
society framework, and not everyone could just go be a crazy entrepreneur like me and just drop everything and you know what I mean?
Yeah, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. I think it takes a specific kind of person, but then also, I don't know if you should go to university unless you know what you're going to be doing. I feel like going to university to find out what you're doing is probably just a money scam.
It's a little bit cheaper in Canada than US.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're being sold the lifestyle that you get the piece of paper guarantees an amazing high paying job.
And
in
so
the
they put out
80s.
the arts degree and they don't get a career, and they think that they were going to get something, or they get the career and they don't even like it because they didn't do the career they wanted in the first place.
I agree with you. And I think that's what's actually changing. You know what? You actually see in big tech for the first time in Silicon Valley, they're hiring people without
Specifically without
degrees.
degrees. Yeah, it's all
High school diploma. Even
Yeah.
OpenAI, I think Zach Cass or one of those guys from OpenAI, they
Yeah.
hired someone who apparently didn't even graduate high school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Crazy.
I know with the XAI team, I was looking at, because when they had first launched it, they were like showing what everybody's credentials was for their main team, and they were all like in like a little chat online, and like most of them were either like high school or university dropouts. But then what they did instead is they posted the books they read. One of them made a tweet, and it was every book that he read that helped him be able to build AI like he's doing now. And it was like 3,000 books. I looked some of them up, and I was like, these are just like insane books. And I was like university books that he decided to read because he was interested. And he ended up like, I think he was in Harvard, and he dropped out after like the first year or something like that because it just like wasn't getting him what he wanted. And he just decided to give himself education by reading.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between education and like learning. It's
Yeah.
like we have, it's the first time in history
Yeah.
that we have access to like the libraries of the world and the wealth of knowledge at your fingertips on your phone.
Yeah. That's like 30 years ago, you had to have the designation so people would know that you're educated. But now it's just so easy to prove that you know what you're talking about, because
Yeah.
people could also hear you easier. Like if somebody goes and makes a YouTube channel and talks about something, they can even talk about medical stuff that they studied for whatever, and they talk about it for 5 years online. People are going to be like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about, even if he doesn't have a medical education.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We're getting to a really crazy world, and you know, even when it comes to medical stuff, it's like I actually see a reformation happening in society, and I'm actually okay with that. And I actually have the belief system that the future is going to be brighter than the past. You have all these people. I remember having drunk conversations. They're like, "Oh, let's go back to the old times." I'm like, "The old times weren't that fucking good."
Yeah, no.
It's like you have the nostalgia. Like you have half the people that have like race inequality. You have
Oh,
like
there's so much stuff. Yeah.
like, bruh, you could
You didn't have AC.
yeah, you're living like a rich person of 50
Oh, yeah.
years ago.
With cell phones, like everybody.
You
Like,
buy a TV for $300.
yeah, and a very good TV compared to what you were getting back in the day.
I know.
Your cell phone is more powerful than a computer that was bigger than this whole place.
I know. And for example, in Canada, it's very rare you're not dying of starvation.
Yeah, very rare.
Maybe it's super rare, but I'm saying like we live in like one of the best times in the world, but I would also say some of us are the most unhappy.
That's what I've got to ask you. So why do you think so many people are unhappy right now? Lack of purpose?
I don't know. I think it's many things. We could get into it. I think it's hopelessness as well. One of them is hopelessness, lack of vision, lack of hope for the future.
Yeah.
I think a big one that I would even say some of my young friends who are maybe they went to trade school, they went to university, they have the degree, they have the career job,
Yeah.
and they might be at like say 60 to 100K a year, and the housing and inflation has gone up so much that your buying power has gone down so significantly that maybe in Winnipeg it's different, but if you live in Vancouver, Toronto, home ownership's out of the way.
Yeah.
You can't really see the future of building wealth, because if 50% of your income is going towards housing, you feel like you're really strained and you can't invest in the future. So I think there's like future stuff as well, because maybe our parents' generation was able to own a lot of real estate and homes.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's maybe what we're looking at is housing as one of the biggest things, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I don't have the answer. I think it's a few things.
I feel like that almost comes back to like maybe people feel like their actions are like inconsequential. Like they like whatever, no matter what they do, it doesn't really make a difference at this point.
Yeah.
So I guess I would go back into like hopelessness, but almost in like a why do anything if it's not going to make a difference anyway.
Or why save for this down payment? And that's why I think in certain industries, like the small goods luxury, like the treat culture has come, because it's like, hey, I got to spend $2,000 on my rent. I'm okay buying this $20 luxury item that maybe our parents' generation would never spend $20 on something.
Yeah.
And now we're willing to do it because it's like it's a loss anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting one. So what would you say to those people if you're trying to help them? Let's say somebody comes to you and they're like, I'm feeling a little hopeless right now. I don't feel like I'm happy. How would you guide them to maybe like take the right steps, or what steps would you recommend they take to turn their life around?
You know what? I would say, hey, I get you. I understand. Like growing up, the conservative leaders for money would say housing shouldn't be over 25% of your income. I agree. I think it should be at 25% of your income. Like that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Like housing is like housing. It shouldn't be an investment structure. I know in Canada it's become that. But what I would say is I think it's unique to each person. I don't want to say just paint a brushstroke.
Yeah.
If it's a young guy to like an older guy, like if they're single or family, there's a lot of differences. Because if it's a single young guy who's 18, bro, you want to make money? Go up to the oil rig.
Yeah.
Hustle for maybe 3 years. Don't spend it. Don't go buy that stupid ass truck. Don't waste that money up your nose. Invest it. And you can actually get really rich off stocks and buy fucking Bitcoin.
If you let it compound at the right rate and
or just take a risk, go buy $200,000 in Bitcoin, sit on it, and 20 years you're gonna be rich.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'll probably be fine.
Yeah,
you can even just invest in like the Magnificent Seven stocks, and you're probably gonna be fine. Like I don't think Google's going anywhere. I don't think
S&P 500. I know right now we have an AI bubble a little bit, but you'd be fine. Like literally, if you look into compound interest, and a lot of people don't know this. We're not taught financial literacy in high school. Maybe we're taught in this stupid math, take the consumer math, like this is how mortgage works, 10 plus 10, but like literally.
Most of what you learn in math is, I realize it's not really like applicable to life.
No.
But that's like the basic arithmetic is like arithmetic and like statistics and maybe probability.
Yeah.
So it's like what actually matters at the end of it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I swear, if you put $250 away a month into a stock portfolio when you turn 19, 18, by 30, you could have millions when you retire just from compound interest.
People don't realize that. And it's funny part is that I think the young people are almost better at picking the companies because they know what the trends are.
Oh yeah.
Like young people. Yeah. Like somebody, like an older person went and bought Tesla in 2013.
It's old people buying the Coca-Cola.
the
blue. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. They're going to buy the Coca-Cola. They're going to buy whatever the legacy stocks and energy or mining or whatever. And like they'll get decent gains, but they're not going to see like above market gains. But the younger people can I've seen time and time again friends of mine who it's like, oh, I just knew about this market, so I bought this mushroom stock, right? I just knew about this market, so I bought like whatever this energy stock, and I just knew about that market, so I bought this tech stock. I like why wouldn't Facebook go up? People when Facebook went public, everybody's like it's overvalued. But if you would have bought it, you would have made ridiculous returns, or if you would have bought, people saw the iPhone and said it was stupid. and then but a young person would have been like, "This is amazing." And then
Yeah, it's the future.
and if you
Dude,
want to put the same, actually, this is one thing I saw. If you put instead of buying the iPhone each time an iPhone came out, and you put the same amount of money as the iPhones cost into iPhone stock, I think it was something like $3 million, something stupid like that.
it would be a big number.
Essentially like $1,000 a year or whatever. Let's say in Apple, since the iPhone came out, you would have been like, it was like hundreds of thousands.
So I'll change the perspective. You asked about like people are hopeless. I think it's just the perspective, because it's already, once you and I started talking about this,
Yeah, like there
I
is
feel it's
hope, we just don't
unlimited
see it.
potential.
Yeah.
Because we live in a time where you could just go buy on your phone.
And you can get educated to figure out what to buy a lot faster.
Exactly. Like, I'll tell you this, in 2018, or it must have been 2018. I got a rental car. I had a BMW X3, and they gave me a rental, and I was bringing it back to Birchwood BMW in Winnipeg, and I stopped at the co-op at that co-op right on the corner, and this like nerdy white guy who has like suntan lotion on his nose comes up. He's like, "Well, I like the car," and I was like, "Oh, it's just like it's a loaner. I'm bringing it back because I have to fill it up."
Yeah.
And he's like, I have this much in stocks."
Yeah.
He's like, "I know I work here, but I have this much Bitcoin, I have this much ETH, and I have like," I forgot what other stocks he said. I think they're like meme coins or whatever. And he's like, "I'm gonna be rich, and you won't see me again. I won't be here," or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, that guy's crazy." I was like, "But I respect it." And guess what? I went back. I never seen the guy again. I don't know where the guy is. Maybe he's on a yacht. Who knows?
Right. You never see him again. But that's the case though. So okay, so maybe it's not hopelessness. Maybe it's just misdirection or lack of information, lack of the right information.
Maybe we have the most choices we've ever had.
Yeah.
Right? Literally, we're in control of the world. Like, you think of humans 6,000 years ago,
Yeah.
literally just fucking survival.
Maybe people are stuck in some sort of doom loop.
Maybe.
Like, because the reason I think to say that is like, let's say your TikTok feed is now all depressing news, like whatever, all you see is war and all this stuff, and then the algorithm just programs thinks that's what you like, and now that's all you see, right? So, but if you are actually focused on like finding new trends and whatever business ideas or educating yourself out of nowhere, all of your feeds, where I'm sure the hopeless people are spending their time, is completely catered to now helping you.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's
Agreed.
almost easy, and it's the same thing with like the people you attract too, right? Like if you're a positive guy who's working and like takes care of himself, you're probably going to be around other people who are doing the same.
Yeah.
If somebody who's like really negative all the time and doesn't see opportunities and like whatever, your friends are probably going to be in a similar boat.
You fall in like an echo chamber, and
Yeah.
that becomes your reality around you, and that's how you see things.
Socially and online, everywhere you are.
Yeah, it's the cheapest time to start a business.
Yeah.
Like, dude, when I paid for my website, the going rate of a website and a brand package and a logo at that time in 2021, very expensive. I actually overpaid. It's all good.
Yeah.
But today you could build it all with AI.
Yeah.
You could work a
Or
part-time job.
even just Fiverr.
Yeah, you could build everything yourself.
Yeah.
You might have to learn a few nights at,
Yeah.
You could build everything yourself and start a business.
YouTube is free, and you'll figure out how to use whatever program. I mean,
Yeah.
graphics are relatively cheap.
Like
to
the
make.
cost, like the barrier to
Yeah.
getting there is like, it's the lowest it's ever been.
I tested making websites for free with AI.
How was it?
At Manus, I made a couple quiz websites. So I had one that was like a relationship website. So you'd answer a bunch of like relationship questions, and then it would give you like answers to like what you're actually looking for in a relationship and like what somebody would see in you. And then the idea was that if somebody else would fill out the quiz, I'd actually be able to match people based on their answers. So like it was essentially a way to find people to be more compatible. So
And it probably had AI plugged in.
the quiz was generated by AI. The website was created by AI. All I did was prompt the whole AI. So it actually launched the whole website.
Brilliant.
And made the quiz. If you generated it, it generated an answer. I just didn't do the matching part, but it was all done in like half an hour.
Do you have the domain? Is it live?
It was.
You
It
can
was.
check
Yeah.
it out?
I have the domain somewhere. Yeah. It was like whatever portal through.
Can we pull it up? Like,
could, yeah.
I'm saying, like
Yeah.
the viewers can pull it up right now and see what it is.
I wouldn't be able to search it.
Okay.
It's like a big code thing.
All right, that's cool. But how long did it take you? Probably not
Half an hour.
Insane.
Yeah.
See, answer to your older question about
Yeah.
hopelessness.
Yeah.
I actually told a young First Nations kid on Instagram. He said, "I want to make some money," and he's like, "I can build websites." I told him about this website. What is it? Shoot. It's one of those AI website models where you can build websites very easily. And I told him, what you should do, build websites for like blue collar jobs, like old mom and pop shops. Just build a website for them. It'll take you 2 hours. Bring it to them and pitch it to them. Say, I'll sell it. Do you like this website? I'll sell it to you.
Yeah, do the work ahead of time.
You could sell it for the going rate. You might be able to sell like to big companies like 10 to 20K. You could sell it to a small little mom and pop shop, $1,000. They'd probably just
say $500, $1,000. If it took you 2 hours, you're making well above minimum wage.
Boom.
Yeah.
You're 18 years old. Go fucking do it.
Yeah, why not? What else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What was your first business?
I was delivering papers when I was like 12 years old.
Okay, I delivered papers too with my
Just
mom.
entrepreneur. Like they give you like $20 every 2 weeks, bro.
Something like that. I did some lawn raking when I was like 7 because I wanted to buy a Lego set, and I realized, I can go do a little bit of work and make a little bit of money and then get one.
Taught you the value of a dollar. Hey?
Yeah,
that's super important. And I was like, oh, dude, I was working the dish pit at Red Lobster on Portage Avenue. Yeah. Remember, like the servers would put like they wouldn't pour the Coke out all the time. They put it in the glass, and I get Pepsi on me and stuff. Felt like a slave labor, making like $11 an hour. But it taught you hard work. Taught me. I'm like, I don't want to fucking do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So being a dishwasher made you be like, I need to work for myself.
Yeah, and I would say that like even I have a daughter now.
Yeah.
You know, I think I want to raise my daughter differently because it just as a dad, you want to be you want her to be the princess. You want to provide everything. But if I had a son, I'm like, bro, you're getting like a minimum wage job when you turn 17, even if I can afford to give you everything. Yeah. I want you to learn what hard work is.
Yeah. And like to take direction and have to go on somebody else's schedule and everything.
You're going to have terrible bosses. You're going to have terrible leaders.
Yeah, probably bad coworkers. Yeah.
Yeah. Toxic coworkers.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe work in construction for a year. Then you're going to see like,
yeah.
It's hard, man. Yeah. I worked for Bayview for like a year when I was 19.
Yeah.
Made good money. But it's like you're just surrounded by like kind of toxic people. Yeah. And you realize I'm like, I don't want to be around these kind of people.
You mentioned having a daughter. Yeah. I don't have any kids. I want to be a dad one day. Describe fatherhood.
I'm gonna just say this: the best thing in my world.
Okay.
My life, you know, I say this to people now. It's like my daughter was born July 6th. It changed my world again. Where I'm like, what really fucking matters? It's like, and it's actually changed the way I do business now today. Because I was just telling my wife, I don't want to be that guy who's working 12-hour days, building, you know, in other cities and not there present with your family.
Yeah.
Because we've seen this, you know, in society. You know, there's rich people out there your life ends in a divorce with your partner. Your kids get fucking pissed off. They don't care that you're making tons of money. They're mad because you're not in their life.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, now I have a responsibility to my daughter and my wife. I want to be there for them. I want to provide them an amazing lifestyle. And guess what? That's going to change it. I want my daughter to come travel with me when I work.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have that life now, but now it's like I'd rather make less money and spend more time with my family.
That makes sense.
So you just learn to be
There's more purpose then too.
More purpose, right? It's just you're taking care of a little pure human being and you're showing them the world for the first time. So we went to, where did we go? And all of a sudden shit becomes fun again. Like Christmas was fun.
Yeah. Because you almost get to see it in the because they're seeing everything for the first time now too, and you get to like be there.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And all the successful dads that I know who run businesses, the actual crazy thing is the good people that I know, they spend more time with their family. They make more money because their time is more effective. They make more money in a short period of time. Yeah. And that's what I've noticed. That if I'm going to fucking work, I'm not on TikTok for 20 minutes.
You're being way more efficient.
I'm getting shit done, and I'm clocking out, going home.
That makes sense.
So
it's good that you realize now like how valuable it is to be like present as a dad, because I read a lot of biographies and stuff too. And one of the main things you see people that can be ultra successful, and the regret is always that they didn't spend enough time with their family
all the time.
Yeah, it's like the main regret you see out of anybody who's successful.
And that's the good thing about autobiographies or learning about successful people's lives
from somebody who's already lived it.
Yeah. Even if you don't like to read, go on Netflix and look at some famous people's life stories.
Yeah.
What's the biggest regrets they have? Don't do that.
Yeah.
They had everything in the world money-wise. They had every car, every cool thing, but it's like at the end of the day, family's really the most important thing.
And it's funny because no matter what you do, you can find somebody who excelled at it, and you could see if that's actually the life you want to live. Like a lot of people see like, oh, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, $700 billion or whatever. It's like, do you actually want his life? Like he's like 13 kids. He has like however many different wives. He can't seem to whatever. His mind is probably crazy. He can't settle.
He's an interesting. He's a beast.
We need him. I respect him. Wouldn't want to be him. That's all.
No.
But there's a lot of other successful people where I see them. I'm like, oh, this guy has whatever. He's maybe worth a couple $100 million. He has business that he loves. He has family. He gets to spend time with his family. He does what he wants. He doesn't have like Naval Ravikant, for example. It's almost who I was describing. Like, philosopher type, doesn't have a calendar. Gets to spend all his time with his kids if he wants. Only does work when he needs to, when he wants to. Finds the work that he wants. Purpose driven. Dives into that fully, and then he pulls out again. He goes back into
it's life in your own terms.
Yeah, like that's a better. Like, so you could actually. That's one of the things we have with the internet now. Access to information. You can actually find somebody who's living the exact life you want to live in, like reverse engineer.
Reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Everything can be reverse engineered.
Yeah.
So I tell people.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. See, and I think that's interesting because the way that I want my life to look might be different from the way that you want your life, 100%. Your dream life to look. And I think that's completely okay. Yeah. There's no one right or wrong.
You got to find what works for you.
Yeah, what you want. And I think that's super interesting. Find someone who's living that life that you actually really want. Reverse engineer it. What do you have to do?
Yeah.
You might have to work. You might have to hustle your ass for a little bit, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
If you need capital, you can go work up north on a rig, make a couple $100,000, then you invest that. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
Would you say that's the best way to get money fast? If you don't
have... that's so funny. I'm saying if I'm talking to like an average human, like a blue collar guy, I'm like, just go do that, invest all your money, don't spend $1 and invest it. But for more creative types, I would say software sales. Find something that's high margin and fucking sell it. And you might have to cold call 150 people a day and sell. I would say selling's the easiest way, to be honest.
Did you cold calling with your sales jobs before?
Oh yeah. But I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
But you realize you have to get good at it.
Yeah. You get good at, I think it's a good point of skill. I had to do cold calling too before. I used to sell insurance. Wasn't supposed to be cold calling, but it was so clearly cold calling.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like dialing like 90 people an hour.
Well, sales has changed.
If they don't answer.
Human, the way that we engage changes because you don't want to create sales resistance. The biggest thing for cold calls for me today is you're sparking curiosity in them. Because what does everyone say when you answer a phone? Hi, my name's Darion. I'm calling from so-and-so today. Do you have a minute of your time? I don't have a fucking minute. People hang up on you.
Yeah.
Right? You just got to ask like different questions. That's why there's this fun. Have you seen that funny guy on TikTok?
Yeah. Which one?
There's this funny dude on TikTok in the States who's literally like, hey, I want to talk to the fucking manager, you asshole. Get me, who's the decision maker around here?
Yeah.
And like it just interrupts like that pattern in people's minds. They're like, I want to hear what this guy has to say. Yeah. And he actually like gets to the appointment stage of booking like a time to come down with the managers because he's like just.
So that's how he bypasses like the gatekeepers.
Yeah, because he's just saying he's cursing and stuff, and he's not doing a traditional sales call.
Yeah,
it's a pattern interruption for people, and they just want to know more. It's like it's a funny meme. I'm going to show you after.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He's blown up on TikTok now.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
well, that's actually interesting because it's funny because I feel that is part of sales too. Is like you want to find a way that's like untraditional because everybody's used to like having scripts and all that stuff. It's like, oh, the script is supposed to work, but if you find something that just like completely breaks the pattern, just to get past it, it's like you have to be comfortable enough. And that's actually part of the communication skills you learn from sales, like getting comfortable enough to break those patterns, just to like not have to follow a script.
Humans change. We all evolve. Maybe that worked in Wolf of Wall Street in the 80s.
Yeah.
To call someone with a perfect script.
Yeah.
Because the trust was there.
Well, if anybody does a perfect script comes from the person who wrote the script is just writing what they were saying naturally. So when it's a script for somebody else, it works for that guy because that's just how he talks.
Very true.
Or he just knows what to say. Whereas for everybody else, they're just trying to perfect what isn't them, which I feel like that's where a lot of people in sales end up failing is when they're just clearly doing something that's not them.
Oh, exactly. Or you're not confident.
Or
in
you're
it.
not
You're
selling
saying
something you actually like. It's like, oh, you can see right through it.
100%. Well, people value transparency now. Like we're actually changing in the culture from, like perfectly polished, like perfectly polished figures.
Yeah.
We know there's low trust with these kind of people. And we're turning into like the micro influencer era where like you ask kids, it's actually super interesting. If you were to ask kids years ago, at one point, kids would be like, oh, I want to be like a doctor, lawyer, or like astronaut.
Yeah.
And then eventually it turned into kids want to be YouTubers and kids want to be TikTok stars.
Content creators.
Now kids want to be like streamers.
Yeah, streamers are huge. I think streamers are the biggest one right now. Isn't
It's
it?
huge. And
Yeah.
the cool thing about streamers, I know there is, in the real world of streaming, like they'll talk about what they're gonna do and things that they can't and can't say.
Yeah.
But people want that just reality, and I think that's where we're going for humanity. So the more real and authentic you can be to yourself,
Yeah.
good, bad, and ugly, I think people appreciate that the most.
I just tell people it's the best way to combat the AI wave that is here and is continuing to come. Is that like people are just going to want what's authentic even more. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I'm starting this podcast. Like I need to put out my own content because like I need to make my face out there because now it's like you have to authentically be yourself. It's like, okay, how are you going to present yourself? It's like,
But another thing that I deal with almost every day, because we travel, we do training with government, like governance in First Nations. So that's the chief and councils. I do a lot of like cyber training for corporate as well.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is like deep fakes. So
people are scared of it.
terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified. Like there's a huge fear with AI. I get it.
Yeah.
So like they can take a picture of you,
Yeah.
record your voice through a call or take your voice from online, create like a realistic video
Yeah.
that most adults, 70% of people can't tell the difference between AI generated and real life.
100%.
These old people.
Yeah.
And then they can make you say whatever. That's a crazy time.
I always take pictures of people and I put it in AI and make them dance.
Yeah.
And like the younger people right now could see it, but like
Yeah.
my dad couldn't tell the difference.
They can't.
Until like second 10. He was like, he's like, I just saw my face. But like, for the first 10 seconds, he thought I was like, he's like, when did I do that?
That's crazy. But that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
3 years is going to get even better, where it's like
3 months is good.
you're going to have to trust. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if you're scrolling on a feed and you see a clip of your podcast, you shouldn't trust it unless it's actually released on the platform, on your
Yeah.
specific.
Needs to be like stamped
Authentic-
by the creator itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be so much fake going on. And if you're obviously, I would say, like a public figure in Winnipeg, like you're known or you have enough clout that if you were selling something, people would trust and maybe buy. So that's why there is scammers and hackers and bad actors that are going to try to exploit that.
Yeah.
So we're preparing for the future.
That's why I think it's more important than ever to make content because people need to see like authentically
The real stuff.
Yeah, who are you? And then that way people can then trust what you're going to say.
Yeah.
But then you have to be able to put your stamp on it.
Exactly. And then when people trust because they know who you actually are as a human,
Yeah.
and then they see content that contradicts really,
Yeah.
then that's a telltale sign. But
Yeah.
you will have bad actors that will still be like, hey, you know what? My name is so-and-so. You know, I've done this. I built this nightclub. And like, this is my new venture. So if you want to invest, click the link down here.
Yeah.
And then people are going to message you, hey, I invested in your company and I got
yeah.
scammed. You're like, that wasn't me.
Yeah. Oh.
Happens right now for public figures.
Oh, for sure. I've
Yeah.
seen it. I mean, and accounts get hacked already as it is. So it's almost even hard to put the stamp on it. But you get the accounts that you just see like one little change in the handle, and then they message you and they're like, whatever.
Oh, dude.
The crypto casino opening. That's one.
Yeah. Oh.
Elon Musk crypto casino. I got like probably three DMs from people, and then they're sure enough they were hacked and whatever. And it's like, okay, but like, that's an obvious scam. But like, they just get better and better.
Yeah. I would say like I think people should be aware of this, and this is what one of my main concerns is like the bad actors that have access to really good technology to try to trick our people and humans in North America. But I would actually say that AI reformation is an ability to make a ton of money because look at all the trends in the past. People have made a lot of money off these trends, like the .com built in 2000s.
Yeah.
And then you would say there was a few throughout history. This is one of them. So if you're listening and you're young and you want to make some money, learn a lot about AI, you can make tons of money off AI
100%.
and actually help people and not just benefit you, but help humanity.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get there.
You're able to easily leverage yourself with AI. So if you find whatever you're good at that's making money, you can then leverage that using AI, and then
Yeah.
there's been no easier time to like multiply your like workflow.
Oh yeah. And people are talking, like I had a government leader like ask me, like, do you think it's going to replace jobs? Do you think jobs are going to be gone? And I think, yes. I said this, I was speaking at Tech Thursday. I said, yes, jobs are going to be gone. But think about it this way. We already had a technology that's changed. So like back at one point, people were going around horse and buggy. We didn't, before vehicles,
Yeah.
it was a horse and you hopped in this wagon and the automobile was introduced.
Yeah.
So imagine all the jobs for the horses and the building these carriages. yes, they maybe lost their jobs temporarily. They have to get retrained into a new model.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yeah, it's going to be good for humanity because I really believe it's going to
100%.
it's going to make us a lot of money. And I think there will be some sort of UBI in the future.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get too much about like, you know, politics, but if
Yeah.
we tax companies on use of AI, the cost of goods could come down and it could be better for humanity. I really believe
Right.
it.
Yeah. Cost of goods is for sure going to come down.
Yeah.
Efficiency, human productivity is going to go up.
Yeah.
And I think as jobs are lost, there's going to be more jobs created. But I think people are scared of the speed that that's going to happen at because I think it's just gonna be like jobs gone. But like we've already seen it that like people are saying this probably 2023 or whatever when ChatGPT came out.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years now, and it's like it's clearly not like instant. And,
not
and
instant.
there's already jobs that have started to be created. I think I actually saw a report in the States that more jobs have been created from AI than lost. It was only like 6,000 layoffs in 2025, I think, that was from AI because AI replaced them.
Yeah.
But then they have like the data centers getting built out, energy getting built out, and it's like, okay, there's so many more jobs like that. And there's electricians getting paid like $300,000 plus a year.
The blue collars making is next future
and they
millionaires.
have way more work, and then whatever. Now you have AI scientists and whatever,
Yeah.
so on. So
Drivers is going to be taken out eventually, I think. Like,
I
I was
think
in,
that'll be a good one for us.
it'd be safer. Dude, I took a
Way
Waymo.
safer and faster because
Oh.
you think about traffic, how many people are texting or whatever, they don't go as fast as speed limits. Like if every car is moving perfectly when it should, as it should, I think traffic's going to be drastically reduced.
And that's, as a car enthusiast,
Yeah.
the one thing in the back of my mind is I know there's going to be a time in our future, we might be very old,
Yeah.
where insurance is going to be through the roof
Or you're just not even allowed to drive.
if you want to drive yourself, or you'd have to drive at a track.
That's what I was going to say. It's
So if
going
you
to be
wanna-
like enthusiast tracks, yes.
Yeah, so
In which case, time to start hoarding cars.
I don't, or I believe there's going to be those companies that are going to bring the autonomous tech into these old cars too, because they're doing it right now for
Yeah, that could-
electric.
yeah. The
there's
Waymo uses Jaguars or whatever, and they equip them.
covered in cameras or whatever.
Yeah.
So the tech will be available, I think.
It'll be like when you add a backup camera to like how it was before.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta wire the old backup camera into like your Pioneer screen in the middle.
Oh my
Back up to-
gosh! Back
Yeah.
in the day,
Yeah.
we're old enough that you would remove, if you lived in, you would remove the screen when you left the car.
Yes.
You didn't want your windows smashed.
Yeah.
Because people, I
That's
know
what it'll be
people,
like. You'll add the autonomous into your car like that. The autonomous driving into your car like that. I think
they'll just steal it.
maybe actually.
I don't know. But it's a weird time for cars. I have friends in Ontario. They don't want to drive nice cars
Yeah,
because they're Target.
that's fair.
They just drive like normal. Like I know this.
There's a lot of theft in cars right now.
It's crazy.
in Toronto, especially. But I was told to just like not even bother buying cars in Toronto at this point because like you never know.
You don't know. It's just gonna be
Yeah,
gone.
when I was buying the car that I have now, originally I was looking in Ontario, and then I was just warned by so many people. I was like, you know what, I'll just spend that extra like $1,500 and just buy it here instead. So,
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
I want to start to wrap this up. So
Okay.
the question I have for you is, how do you create a happy life?
How do I create a happy life?
Yeah.
I want to first preface, I'm not in a perfect place.
Nobody ever is.
And I recognize that because I still deal with daily stuff. It's like, but I recognize that I need to use tools and bring daily habits into my life that actually work for me. And what works for me might not work for everyone, right? To be happier. And I would say, based on, if I was to compare myself versus 3 years ago, I'm very happy today.
Yeah.
But I need to put the work in still daily. Because if you just go watch Netflix for 3 weeks, some people might think not working and you're not going to be happy after 3 weeks. It's only fun for like a week watching Netflix and being off work.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like exercise daily, getting my 10,000 steps in. Also doing something where I'm getting mentally stimulated every day and learning something new.
Okay.
That's important for me. So it's either like a podcast,
Yeah.
but also doing something in business. So it's like something that like is like pushing me mentally. That's important.
Okay.
But also spending time with loved ones. I get really full when I'm spending time with family. Right now I have a daughter. When I'm just spending time with my daughter, I feel very recharged.
Yeah.
So it's super, super important to me. And I think you fight for those things and do them and like strategically make sure you do them.
Yeah.
And then build that up and you have a good life.
There you go. So it's a balanced approach.
Yeah, I would say. And yeah,
Are you happy?
I would say I am. I feel like I'm very fulfilled and I'm very happy right now. But again, I'm not saying there's not external circumstances that might temporarily affect the joy levels. But I think I'm fight. You have to fight for happiness, just like you have to fight for your freedom.
Yeah.
Not I'm saying in a war way, but for example, one thing for me, I just booked an amazing session where I went and bought 9 laptops yesterday that we're going to give out to youth in Nepal. We didn't have to buy the laptops, but we're training job skills for First Nations youth, and I wanted to give them with a tool that can help them, and that brought me so much joy and happiness. So it's finding those things that you can continually do to bring you the happiness and the joy that you need in life.
That's awesome. I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say before we wrap it up?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I love chatting with you. I could chat longer, but I know we got to get on with our day.
The first time that we chatted, I remember when we got coffee, we ended up getting a couple of coffees because you just talk. So
yeah, life's crazy. Life is good though, and I think it's worth living. And finding purpose it's an exploration thing, and fighting for that, doing those things that bring you happiness and joy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on the
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
You're amazing.
We'll do it again in the future.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Darion Ducharme. I absolutely loved it. I feel like we could have gone on for a lot longer, but I wanted to keep it around an hour. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like and follow me on wherever you listen to your podcasts, and follow me on any social platforms you use. Thank you. Hope you have a good day, and be love.